But what we do know is that a 37-year-old woman is dead and that she was shot by ICE. We've dreaded this moment since the early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis. Not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people.
Is Minneapolis about to burn like 2020? Let's talk about this. That right there was the mayor of Minneapolis. And in my opinion, he is an absolute dinglehopper. I don't think that anything he says is genuine. He seems like he's acting in every speech that he's ever given. But what he's doing is addressing the public because of the ICE protester that was shot, and she later on did pass away. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. But he's saying that ICE is tearing families apart. They're causing chaos in the streets. They're not there for people's safety, when in reality, that's not true. ICE, first and foremost, targets criminal illegal immigrants. After they can't find them, or if they do find them, then they move on to just illegal immigrants. And either way, if you're an illegal immigrant, you're still breaking the law, so you need to get out of our country. And they're not tearing your family apart because you're more than welcome to go with them back to wherever they're getting deported to. But the only people that are causing chaos in the streets are the protesters. They're doing everything in their power to impede federal officers' investigations and everything in their power to make sure that the ICE agents can't apprehend the people that they're going after. They're blocking the roads with their cars. They are throwing ice chunks at them, pepper spraying ICE agents. They're doing anything they can. And in my opinion, the ICE agents and the police of Minneapolis have not been quick enough in response to arresting these people that are doing that, because now it's gotten to a point where an ICE officer thought he was going to get hit by a car and ended up shooting the lady behind the wheel. And we'll get more into that here in a little bit. I'll actually show you the video and give you my take on it. But I think this has been a buildup of actions not being taken on these violent protesters. And now we're in a spot where the people who just were glorifying Charlie Kirk's death are now calling for justice of this ICE protester who was impeding investigations and impeding the ICE agents from doing their job, and potentially tried hitting an ICE agent and ended up losing her life. But before we talk about that video, let's look at the rest of what the mayor of Minneapolis has to say.
So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. As soon as it happened and we learned of the incident, we had several priorities. The first, of course, was to get the victim to the hospital and to get care as soon as possible. To the family, I'm so deeply sorry. There's nothing that I can say right now that's going to make you or your relatives or the friends of the victim feel any better. There were, I believe, 2 Minneapolis police officers that responded and were in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. The second was to get ICE off of the scene. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of ICE and federal officers that were there at the time. Having them there was only causing more chaos. Having them there was only making a difficult situation even more problematic, and one that, yes, they created themselves.
All right, hold on. Time out 1 second. The ICE agents are not the cause of this situation. The cause of this situation are you and that garbage excuse of a police chief O'Hara standing next to you. You guys have not upheld the law, and you have not held your citizens to the standard that is acceptable. You allow your citizens to assault ICE agents, impede federal investigations, and there is no repercussions for your citizens doing that. They get away scot-free. And that is the reason this has boiled over so much, because people think they can do whatever they want and nothing's going to happen to them. And as you can see, that this guy doesn't even know the story. He's saying that there's dozens, if not hundreds, of ICE agents. Well, that's a big gap there. Dozens is like, I would think like 24, 36 ICE agents. Hundreds could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 agents. And if you look at, when I show you the video coming up here, there's like 3, maybe 4 total ICE agents that you can see in the video. If there was hundreds of them running around, you would see them all over the place. But like I said, nothing this guy says is genuine. I'll let him finish.
There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave. It's on you to make sure that further damage, further loss of life and injury is not done. We're going to be working towards justice as quickly as we possibly can right now, and justice is what we've all got to get. Next, a message to our community. Look, we all know that the agenda of this Trump administration is to create chaos. Let us respond right now with our best versions of self. This is a moment where all of us in Minneapolis and beyond, we can rise to the occasion. We can show them who we are. We can show them the kind of courage, bravery, love, and compassion that makes Minneapolis, Minneapolis, and that makes America, America. We are better than a bunch of ICE agents being deployed to cities around the country and ripping apart families and communities. We're better than that. And so we are going to meet that hate with love. We are going to meet that despair with hope. We are going to meet that injustice with constitutional justice ourselves. And we're going to make sure that in this very difficult moment, we do not take the bait that these ICE agents are trying to create and that the federal government, to be clear, wants. They want us to respond in a way that creates a military occupation in our city. They want an excuse to come in and show the kind of force that will create more chaos and more despair. Let's not let them.
All right, I can't listen to that guy talk anymore. He is an absolute clown, man. And he's saying that it's on ICE to stop the violence and to leave. No, it's on you to stop your citizens from committing violent acts towards these ICE agents, which resulted in this shooting. But I think you guys know how I feel about him. He's doing a terrible job running Minneapolis. And let's roll right into the actual video of the shooting of the ICE protester. Check it out.
This angle posted to social media shows agents repeatedly telling the driver to get out of the car. The driver then backs up, and as soon as she drives forward, you hear 3 shots fired. A federal agent reholsters his gun as the red SUV loses control and crashes into another vehicle. Another angle shows the driver waving her arm as a vehicle passes. Another car pulls up and more officers get out. They approach her vehicle and repeatedly tell her to get out of the car. They pull on her door. She backs up, then starts to drive forward. Shame! Shame! That's when an officer fires his weapon and you hear 3 gunshots. This is that same video in slow motion where the officer near the front bumper of the car fires his weapon.
All right, so you saw that, and I don't know what she was doing when she was waving that car through or waving her hand out the window. What it seems like to me is she was waving that car to go through and she was going to block the street, because I'm assuming the ICE agents were after that other car. But I don't know. That's just my assumption from what I'm taking from the video. Could be completely wrong. But I have two things to say about this video. Do I think it was a justifiable shooting? Yes, I do. Do I think that it could have been avoided? Yes, I do. So first, let me elaborate on why I think that it was a justifiable shooting. You have one police officer in front of the car, another one going into the driver's side, trying to get her out of the car so that they can arrest her. She slams on the gas. The police officer in front of the car pulls his gun, shoots 3 shots. He didn't excessively fire and empty his clip or anything like that. He shot 3 shots, neutralized the threat, and was done, and reholstered his weapon. That's showing that he truly thought that his life was in danger, because she knew he was standing in front of the car, and she still slammed the gas on to get out of there because she didn't want to get arrested. And he was the only officer that shot because he was the only one in danger. The guy at the driver's side didn't start blasting or anything like that. He didn't even pull his gun out. So that is why I believe it is a justifiable shooting. Now, secondly, I think it could have been avoided because I think he could have just jumped out of the way and not started shooting. But no one knows how you react in that situation until you are actually in that situation. And he clearly thought there was enough imminent danger on his life to have to pull his firearm out and shoot this woman while she's driving forward right at him. Now, I've heard some people say, oh, he should have shot the tire out. What nonsense is that? Nobody is trained to shoot tires out while cars are coming towards you. Like, you're trained to, you only shoot your firearm when you are trying to neutralize the situation. You're not aiming at the ground and shooting at the tires, because what if you shoot at the ground and it ricochets off and hits the bystander and now you're done? And now you killed somebody else on the side of the road that had nothing to do with it. That's an absolutely ridiculous statement to say that you should have shot the tires out. But that's my take on this. Now, in my opinion, Minneapolis is going to go crazy because they are already in the streets burning American flags. And if you don't believe me, here, I got the video. Check it out.
Okay, well, where you're at right now, and we're seeing the images on the screen, there's that flag you were talking about being burned here. What kind of things are they shouting, the crowd that's out there? I know they're obviously not happy ICE is there. They've been talking about that. What are they saying? What's the energy like where you are right now?
So that's one reason why I'm not getting too close, so I can hear all of you, because it is loud out here. It's profanities, a lot of profanities against ICE.
Yeah, so you see that, and like I said, I think Minneapolis is only going to get worse. And if history proves anything, people in Minneapolis will take any chance they get to go and loot, riot, protest, whatever it may be, and get out on those streets and wreak havoc for their communities, because that's just who they are. And as you see, they're already in the streets burning American flags, which makes no sense, because you don't have to be here. Whether you're an American citizen or not, you don't have to be here. You can leave and go anywhere you want. Get out of the United States. You don't have to be here. And I'm pretty sure burning an American flag is a year in jail, right? Mandatory year in jail. That guy should be arrested. But I guess only time will tell with what's going to happen in Minneapolis, and I'll be sitting here watching it all. You guys let me know what you think down in the comment section. Make sure you share this video, and I'll see you on the next one.